Stallone's got to be one of the most unfortunate looking people, like, ever. I'm counting, like, from the beginning of time till now.
Yeah.
It's not a good looking man.
No.
I don't think he ever was a good looking man. But at least back in the day, he looked vaguely human.
Yeah, he was, like, passable.
Now he just looks like a patchwork of bulbous growths sewn together by some sort of sinew and muscle.
Yeah.
He's a weird guy to look at, Stallone is.
Although he's kind of lost all his muscle at this point. At least from I saw like a press interview thing that he was doing for Rambo, and he like lifted his arms and he was wearing like short sleeves. Man, the bad puppies look like turtle skin, dude. It was just going.
Yeah, that ain't cool.
So
all that HGH and you can't keep up the muscles.
Yeah.
Maybe look,
maybe he was like on a cycle. He was like off of it.
Maybe, possible. And but look, man, all that HGH can't be good for you. Period. So he probably realized that when his liver was the size of, I don't know, Timbuktu, maybe. And he was like, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
So anyway, humongous organs aside, and I don't mean his penis.
No, tiny probably because
it was about time we got another Rambo movie, right? Because it'd been like a decade or so.
Yeah.
So
it's like Pennywise comes out every
every handful of years we get a hideous man that comes out and kills people for us. There was a lot of controversy surrounding Rambo: Last Blood, the purported last Rambo movie. Although now apparently he wants to do another one.
Yeah.
Which, in all honesty, bring it on, bitch!
Yeah.
You old bastard. If I'm gonna look at your hideous face, it might as well be while you destroy people that have their just desserts coming to them.
Yeah.
And here's the deal:
bring back the Cobra.
It only figures, man, that nowadays would be when people bitch about. No, don't get me wrong. People have bitched about Rambo before. The violence is excessive, and parents groups and all that shit would always be up in arms about this or that. But this has got to be the pussiest Rambo bitching I've ever heard.
Yeah.
People that are like, look, just up front, we're even going to title this something like this. We're Mexican.
Super Mexican.
Okay? We're Mexican as fuck.
Yeah.
So we're just going to tell you right now that we're not offended by Rambo Last Blood.
Nah,
but if you ask everybody else that was making a fucking fuss about it, this was the most offensive thing to Mexicans ever.
Look, as Mexicans that live near the border, people standing up for those kind of Mexicans is like standing up for Nazis.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Come on, homie. Don't get pissed off if you kill a Nazi.
Yeah. So Rambo killing a bunch of degenerate asshole cartel sex traffickers is a good thing.
Yeah, and it's not like they made them that way.
Yeah,
man. These people exist.
Yeah, go over the border and have some fun. But you might go to like Cancun and have a little fun over there, throw back a few margaritas, come back home and say the Mexican people are wonderful. And they are. Yeah. We're a couple of them. Yeah. We're great.
Super cool.
But I don't know if cool is the right word. No. But I can tell you this, that country is steeped in serious corruption and violence.
Yeah.
The cartels and the traffickers hold everything with an iron fucking claw, man. And nothing moves unless they move. Corruption is in all strata of government. It's a fucking shithole, Mexico is. Okay? I wish it wasn't, because the culture is beautiful. My people are beautiful, but not every person is good. And there's a lot of fucked up people there. So when the first whispers of this movie came out years and years ago, right after John Rambo came out, the fourth Rambo movie, right after that came out, and immediately whispers were going out that this movie was going to come out. And the first thing was he was going to go against cartel.
Yeah.
And I could tell you, and you remember this, I'm sure, I was fucking pumped.
Yeah, you were like, hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
And this was like obviously it's been bad for, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of like at a low point, I think. Like it got really bad like a couple years ago with like...
Here's the thing that people are neglecting. The cartel is so integrated into society in Mexico now that it's almost like forgettable. It's almost negligible.
Yeah.
It's no longer big international news, but it happens every day.
Yeah, like again, we live near the border or a border, and it's like they just like, oh yeah, these people died. Yeah. And it's just like...
It's nothing anymore. It's gone on for so long that Americans think it went away, basically.
Yeah.
And it hasn't. It's been there. It's still as awful as it ever was. Pits of bodies found every day. Heads, yeah. Families killed. Cartel footage being thrown out there to the media so they could show their power over people. Fathers having their sons' hearts ripped out in front of them. Fucked up shit goes down there because of cartel and traffickers. So when they first announced this over a decade ago, or about a decade ago, I should say, I was very excited because it was a very timely moment, even though it had been, like you say, waning a bit in the news.
It was about to ramp up.
Yeah, it was the best moment to release that and remind people that, hey, this shit is fucking happening. I will say that this Rambo's controversial, one, because we're a bunch of pussies now, and two, because people are all fucking trying to defend other people, and they don't even understand what the fuck's going on anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting butthurt for everybody else, and it's like, shut the fuck up. I'm telling you right now, as a Mexican, fuck yeah. Rambo, go kick their ass. Because that would be great if somebody went and kicked their fucking ass, had the balls to kick their ass. So, for God forbid, a couple of Mexicans should be happy that somebody's like, hell yeah. Do something about this.
I almost guarantee you, anyone living in Mexico who has to live under that fear of getting their freaking faces sliced off for real, watching this would be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I wish this would happen.
So, they're not depicting Mexicans negatively. The movie makes it pretty fucking clear that there are people that are in it because they like to be in it. There are people that are in it because they're forced to be in it. And there are people that are trying desperately to get away from it. 3 distinct walks of life are shown in the movie. But yes, of course, we're going to linger on the bad guys because that's who Rambo has to kill. It's a Rambo movie, you fucks. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing they were bitching about. That it's another movie with the white savior complex. Why does it have to be the white guy? That's it. Because it's a fucking Rambo movie.
Yeah, it's Rambo. He's not going to be suddenly Mexican guy.
Yeah, man. It's a fucking Rambo movie. It's okay for Rambo to do it. He's been doing it since the second movie. In the first one, he fought white Americans, okay? That one's done. That Rambo movie's done with. After that, he's gone and fought all over the world. And it's always a topical thing that Rambo attacks. That's it. This is nothing new. This is nothing, shocking and offensive. This is fucking badass. Is
really?
What it is.
Why are you getting all offended? There's got to be a white guy doing stuff. We hating whites?
Yeah. Are you self-hating?
Yeah, it's just as racist.
It's ridiculous, man. The controversy beyond this is ridiculous. As always, when you get a Rambo movie, you pretty much, know what to expect. And if it delivers that in the proper way, it's most likely going to be a satisfying experience. You're not going to Rambo for nuance. You're going to Rambo to see an ass kicker kick ass. So anyway, this final Rambo movie, which would be the 5th Rambo movie, surprisingly, it was not directed by Sylvester Stallone. I would have expected him to return to the director's chair after what he did with Rambo 4, and of course we all know that pretty much in the other ones he was always puppeteering behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. After all, one of them was directed by George P. Cosmatos, the famed guy that gets hired just so that somebody else can direct. Yeah. Really,
also a huge fan of Clamato.
Cosmato's Clamato coming soon. So yeah, man, I'm sure he had a lot to say about this. After all, he co-wrote the script, and he's basically the one that kept on pushing for this movie to get made. So I'm sure he had a lot to say. I will say that bringing in Adrian Grunberg, who had already another previous white guy south of the border, old actor trying to be cool movie under his belt, get the Gringo with Mel. Clearly something's wrong with him. Gibson was a good choice, so it was a good mix for this Rambo movie, where it's just where he has a huge sack. See that one?
The Grun Sly connection.
Not the slyest phrasing. But anyway,
it took me long too.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. So this movie is, last we saw Rambo, he had decided to return home because after experiencing something of a glint of hope. It was dashed in the rocks when the chick that he was saving just went with some other sleazy little worm instead of him. So he returned home, and here we pick up 9 years later, and he has found a renewed purpose in his life, despite still being troubled by the PTSD that haunts him. He has found purpose in his life by raising this would-be adoptive niece, if you will. And as circumstances happen, you know that shit's going to get bad before it gets good. And they take that away from him. Spoiler, she dies. Not ruining anything because we kind of expected that in a Rambo movie. And guess what? That just means Rambo got to kick some ass.
Yeah, I do feel like they were maybe a little aware that this was going to make people cry. Mm-hmm. You know, about the Mexicans getting shot. And so they really build up the evilness of them.
Yeah.
You know, like, it takes a long ass time of them just establishing how freaking horrid they are.
Yeah, for anybody that's crying, look, as a Mexican, I'm gonna say thanks for trying to stand up for Mexicans. I guess
we don't need it though.
Sometimes we do.
Yeah, but not now.
This is definitely
not a good hill to die on, dude.
You know, when they call us wetbacks and beaners and think that we sleep against saguaros, then maybe stand up for us.
Well,
other than
my back is full of spines right now.
A good saguaro sit never hurts.
Not,
but
not bad.
you know, honestly, to be honest with you, being a person that's seen footage of the way cartel and traffickers treat people, this was tame in comparison.
Big time.
The scumbags that do this shit, it's fucking horrifying.
Yeah. I do think it does, like, because it is so... I guess maybe because we know how bad it is. Mm-hmm. It does come off a little, like, cartoony, you know? Because it's like, I mean, they're trying to be evil, but you know, it's like... You know, just some of the dialogue doesn't come... It comes off a little much. Because you know that it's so much worse, I guess.
Yeah, and again, that's not so much a indictment of the dialogue that's there. It's actually really good. The Spanish dialogue is really good. It's just it's like knowing how it actually goes. To us, it's like okay, a little cartoony, but that's okay. It's a Rambo movie. Yeah. I will say this. The subtitles, the English subtitles for the Spanish dialogue are god-awful.
Really bad.
Now, for some of the slang, I get it. You have to make an American audience understand what they're getting at. But some of them, they just made up. Like, where did you get that? What?
How?
And then sometimes they would translate stuff that was in English already. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't understand those subtitles.
It was pretty bad. I was just ignoring them at a certain point. I was
like,
like at first I was kind of like, I guess they're just writing in what they want you to know. Mm-hmm. But then at a certain point, I was like, hey, these suck. So I just started ignoring them.
I just like innately fucking read the subs now, even if I'm hearing it. So I was just like, what the? It's weird. What the fuck? I wish I could have turned them off, honestly. But so that's weird. I mean, it kind of gets the point across anyway. So that, I guess to an American audience, that's fine. But if you're a Spanish speaker, those subs they're gonna bother you. It's like, what the?
Yeah.
How?
Stinky. And there's a lot of Spanish in this too.
Yeah. So look, man. Is it insulting to the Mexican people? No. Is it portraying all Mexicans like this? No. So get that out of the way. A white savior complex. It's a Rambo movie. Get that out of the way. What do we have left? Violence. It's a Rambo movie. The last one was uber violent. This one I'd say is relatively tamer than the last one.
Compared to that one,
violence. Yeah. So I found it very interesting how they approached the Rambo character this time around, because we have Rambo here no longer at his peak. You know, he physically speaking, they've established at the beginning of the movie that he's not as capable as he was anymore, which plays into the way the story develops as far as him doing his Rambo thing. He has to tweak the game a little bit, and that leads to this ultimate payoff at the end, which is still the big a pop shot that we all want, just in a different style. Which I don't know. Did you find that as equally satisfying or not, or what's up?
The only thing that I would have wanted to happen that didn't is there needed to be way more Mexicans coming in. Because they get
just random ones though, like innocent
ones. Yeah, like I'm in there. I'm like, what's up? No, like he need to get more people to kill.
Yeah,
you know, because they build up that evil for so long. You just wanted like 52 hours of just straight killing. As it is, it goes pretty fast. But I did think it was pretty cool.
I think honestly, this was a more satisfying ending than the one in the previous one, which what do we even call that one? It's both John Rambo and just Rambo. I'm just gonna call it John Rambo or Rambo 4. Fuck it. I think the ending, the way everything tidies up with Rambo's rage is a lot more satisfying than the last one. Even though there was a lot more action in the last one, I think this one.
Yeah,
because there's a lot more character work. Yeah, there's a lot more character work, and the build up is a lot more. It is a lot tighter, and well, it's just it's a Just Desserts movie that's played more close to home. Not just because we're Mexican, but because everybody can relate to the idea of losing someone that's family, basically, or family, and the rage that comes with the impotent rage that comes with not being able to do anything about it. So I think that really, really chimes with an audience more than, of course, the world over, there's all kinds of fucked up shit going on, but it's so far away that we almost kind of put it at the back of our heads. And when we see it on screen, we can be like, but then we forget about it the next moment. Yeah. So this hit more closer to home, so it's a lot more satisfying that way. Also, the final bad guy kill, a lot more satisfying in this one than the last one, which still, while cool, was kind of like, damn it, a little more there. So, very cool there. And don't get the impression that we're saying either that there isn't enough killing. Believe me, there's a fuck ton of people get killed. There just should have been more,
way more.
Mexican cannon fodder.
Hardcore.
Hashtag that. Yeah. And then take out the parts where we reveal Mexican.
Dude, just hashtag Mexican cannon fodder. Make that go trending.
So what else, man?
I do think that it's actually kind of a good use of, people cry about like digital gore and blood and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that it's actually pretty cool looking in this.
Yeah.
There's a couple ones where it looks a little super fake. Mm-hmm. But I think for the most part, it works really well because everything's really dark in that tunnel.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately what helps.
Yeah, so, and they mostly use it for stuff you can't freaking do, like shooting off dudes' heads and dudes being eviscerated by claymores. So, makes sense. And I think it actually looks cool. So this is a good example of good, digital gore.
And there's still a lot of cool physical stuff too, so they don't fully depend on the digital either. It's a good balance.
Yeah.
Overall. I don't know exactly where they shot this. I'm assuming at least the pickup shots were on location, but I don't know. The point is a good representation of Mexico, how it looks. Wherever they shot it. If they shot it in Mexico, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
And if they didn't, good job finding a Mexican-looking ass place.
Yeah, need more Donald Dukes, though.
Don't explain that. No. So yeah, let's talk about the cast real quick. Again, as is typical with a Rambo movie nowadays, anyway, it's a very small cast. Same was the case with the other one, and usually when we talk about scale, it usually has to do with a cannon fodder, So
hashtag
Mexican cannon fodder, in this occasion. So here we have notably, the kind of de facto family that he's taken under his wing. What do you think of these actresses, man?
I like the hag.
Yeah, good hag is always great.
She was pretty good. I think the girl was a little wooden at times. I think she's good when it counts. Like when she's dying and shit. But
That's horrible.
but like early on, I was a little, she's a little wood. But you know, she's playing opposite Sly, who's a literal freaking drooping
Man bump.
I was gonna say drooping vagina, but yeah, man bump.
What?
His mouth, dude, it's horrid.
Yeah, it's a weird mouth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And of course we got the baddies. I think do a pretty decent job of being deplorable dicks.
Yeah, especially that dude with the hair.
Yeah, the dude with the hair.
Yeah.
In a movie full of dudes with hair.
You know, the guy gets his head cut off.
Yeah, yeah.
That dude was like straight.
It would have been nice to see him getting his comeuppance on screen.
Yeah.
But I did like the way they did it anyway. And it makes total sense.
Dude was straight Mexico too. Like the
Yeah,
only thing he needed
he was
was
the most
boots.
Mexican guy.
Yeah, he really was.
In that entire film.
Yeah.
Full of Mexican cannon fodder.
He was the most though.
So yeah, man. Overall, a very it's a succinct package. This movie, you know, it's very straightforward and to the point, even more than the previous Rambo movies, which themselves were pretty straightforward and to the point, barring the first one, which has a lot more to say than all the other ones. But yeah, you know, I think this point is still relevant. I think people are just ignorant to the fact that this shit is still going on, and it fucking sucks. You know, an entire nation is under, you know, almost permanent arrest because of it. So yeah, maybe next time don't defend cartel.
Yeah, man.
Maybe next time maybe next time realize that in saying that you're depicting all Mexicans like criminals, that really it's almost like you're depicting all Mexicans like criminals. Because you're defending that portrayal.
Why do you assume that those dudes represent all of us?
Yeah.
You sack, you racist sack.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I don't know who I'm talking to, by the way.
The void.
Yeah, the people.
Definitely somebody with pink hair and armpit hair.
Oh, dude. And it's dyed, too.
Yeah. And they do the, what's her name? Wigglypuff or whatever. Oh, she's disgusting.
Trigglypuff?
Trigglypuff.
Anyway.
Why did I bring her up? Man, I hate her every time I think of her. But anyway, so yeah, any final thoughts you want to get out there before we get to the score on a scale of 1 to 10 relative to its ilk?
Needs more Mexican cannon fodder.
Clearly, I mean, that goes without saying.
I hope there's an unrated version that has like 85,000 more minutes of Mexican deaths, basically. I'm just pushing the fact of how ridiculous that.
Yeah, it's such a dumbass complaint. Like, come on, man. It would have been different if Rambo was wearing a white hood.
Yeah.
Then complain. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he was freaking protecting 2 Mexican girls.
Yes.
What the hell?
And again, that's not a white savior thing.
No.
It's a Rambo movie thing.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Anyway.
And I realize that that's a thing that, you know, for a long time in cinema, you know, they didn't really give time to other people to you know. But Rambo's like from a long fucking time ago.
Yeah,
you know? Like, it's a continuing series, so it's okay. There's been other movies where, you know, it's cool, it's all right.
Yeah.
For Mexicans, it's okay.
Plus, he gets the blessing from a Mexican girl in this.
No, yeah.
Which, by the way, she looked exactly like a girl character, strong girl character from a 80s, 70s action movie.
Yeah, dude, like straight
crazy,
up,
right?
Straight up belonged in like an 80s sci-fi flick look.
Yeah.
Like there's a little Ripley look vibe to her. Yeah. There's a little maybe like a background character in Blade Runner type of vibe to her. Yeah, definitely. Or Amelia Earhart. Hear me out on that one. No. But anyway.
Are you brownwashing now? What the hell?
No. I mean, no.
I mean, it was white, dude.
So anyway, give us a final score on a scale 1 to 10. Or thought?
I mean,
any additional thoughts?
I mean, it's not like the greatest movie ever, you know. Obviously it's a Rambo movie, so you have to expect the Rambo movie. I've only seen the 4th one, to be honest. But having tickled my pickle, my violence pickle. I gotta say this one was pretty rad, and because it did, you know, it's something we know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, these people deserve it. These horrible Mexicans, not the cool ones like us.
Yeah, clearly not.
Established that we're rad Mexicans. Leaning on sags.
We're gonna change our channel to Rad Mexicans.
Yeah. It does take a little while to get to, you know, the part where he's kicking ass, but I think it's worth it because, you know, you do get that satisfying end. I'll give it like a 7.5. It's pretty fun.
I think this is the best Rambo movie since the first Rambo movie. I think this is the one where they dedicated more to the Rambo character, and you know he means more in this than he did in the other ones. In the other ones, he's kind of like this means to an end, if you will, to make whatever little point those movies were trying to make. For better or for worse, you know, whether you like them or not, it doesn't matter. But I think this one's giving him a reason, which he didn't, you know, which he was desperately seeking in the first one, giving him a reason to be there, and then taking it away really added substance to a character that we've kind of just come to accept as one-dimensional, and that's okay. So that was cool, man. There was a genuinely moving moment in this that only fueled the audience's desire to see him go full-out Rambo, and to justify that sequence, that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking beyond the fact that they're scumbag fucks.
Yeah.
To justify it even further with, you know, something of substance was pretty cool. I like this more subdued approach. And the fact that it still pays off like a Rambo flick should just makes it all the more satisfying. So I was pretty happy, man. Again, in comparison to films of its type, not in comparison to fucking Citizen Kane here. I'll give it an 8, man. It was blast. I liked it quite a dang bit. I hope there's another one.
I
hope he goes back to Mexico to finish the job.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And that nobody bitches and moans.
He gotta fix his face. So.
Yeah,
nah, you know what? Leave it alone.
He's already trying to fix the face.
That's what I'm saying.
Worse.
That's what I'm saying. Just leave the face alone.
It's not good, man.
It's bad, but I can live with it, you know?
Yeah.
There was like several shots in this where it's like was it profile?
Mm-hmm.
Homie's lip like all the way down here. I was like, damn, homie.
He's got the donkey lip for damn
yeah,
sure.
He's donkey lip in the scene.
Anyway, let us know what you think of his donkey lips. In the meantime, hit like, share, subscribe, and those notification buttons because we're out.